I am crap at mini golf in real life, and to be honest, I just don't rate it. The experience sounds fun until you're on a cobbled together course, getting soaked by a pathetic drizzle of rain, while a family of 4 argues their way through the course behind you. It's just not that great unless you pay a premium price for a premium experience. Enter Walkabout Mini Golf VR for PSVR 2. Mini golf without the domestic violence, inclement weather, and buyer's remorse. Rather than being pushed around a course knocked together out of whatever scraps of wood the carny folk had lying around, you're transported to a fantastical world where the limits of reality don't really matter. You'll be banging balls in a tropical tourist resort, placing the perfect putts on a space station with Saturn and its rings for company, and avoiding axes and emo kids in a gothic castle, and much more. Taking the sport, is it really a sport, to VR means that the developers could let their imaginations run wild, and it's good fun to see where their minds went, and a reminder of just what isn't possible at the annual county fair. What you get here is a robust game of mini golf across 8 courses in the base game, each with 18 holes, though there's a lot more to play through by way of the various DLC packs. The base game alone only costs around $10 to $15 depending on your region, and the full package with all the DLC can be had for just a $10 or more. It's a bargain and easily one of the most value-packed games I've enjoyed in a long time. There's just so much to do. You've got your 18 holes per course, of course, but within each hole there's a hidden collectible golf ball for you to sniff out and add to your collection. One night, I abandoned the idea of making any birdies or bogeys and just went through the holes searching for those little balls. A game within a game, almost. There's multiplayer too, if you want it, with the option to host private games with friends or join others. And if you want to live out your Happy Gilmore fantasy and just smack some balls as far as you can, there's the driving course minigame, which took up a lot of my time. Getting around in Walkabout Mini Golf VR is fairly straightforward, with the game's various VR comfort options. Plus there's a super neat movement mode where you can just fly around the maps. It's not going to keep you entertained for hours on end, but it's a cool way to appreciate the interconnected holes on a given course, and just really see the scope of what's going on behind the scenes, though it also does reveal unfinished areas of maps, which kind of breaks that all-important immersion. While Walkabout Mini Golf VR throws reckless abandon to realism with its fantastical courses, it actually sticks really close to reality when it comes to its physics. Knocking balls around feels as it should. If you've ever done mini golf in real life before, you'll be surprised at just how right it feels. It helps that the controls are simple and intuitive. You can play with just one controller, and the tracking features work really well. One particularly cool thing to note is that the club size will automatically adjust, so rather than having to bend down or twist your wrist to get a fixed club size to do what you want it to do, the length of the club adjusts on the fly, depending on where you're holding your hand. I found this really useful when me and the kid were taking turns passing the headset to one another, as we didn't need to make any adjustments. Graphically, it may not be pushing the PS5 or the PSVR 2 headset to the limit, but the low poly art style suits the game to a T. Given I've been playing VR games for almost a decade now, it's a design I've become really familiar with, so I appreciate what the developers were doing, considering that this was originally a game for the much lower spec mobile MetaQuest headset. All said, it looks decent and runs great, and you can't ask for much more than that. As far as big new releases go, the PSVR 2 is sadly lacking at the moment, but these little gems like Walkabout Mini Golf VR make the wait for bigger things a little easier. It doesn't hurt, it's a fantastic game in its own right, and it deserves every morsel of praise that it gets. And that is the end of this review. Thank you very much for watching as always. If you enjoyed this review and found it useful, do us a favour, go on down below, hit the like and subscribe buttons, and give the bell icon a nudge so that you get notified whenever we've got new stuff for you to watch. I've been Chris, you've been gorgeous, and I'll see you on the next one. Until then, cheers my dears.